All right. Hello, hello, Chris. How's your day going so
Hello.
far?
Great, great. Having a great time.
Amazing. Happy to hear that. Now, Chris, you have a great resume. So I want to go ahead and just simply ask you to tell me a little bit about your professional experience, if you will.
Oh, absolutely. I have a little over 8 to close to 9 years of recruiting experience.
Mhm.
Recruiting from the customer service space, recruiting from an engineering space, as well as HR, marketing, IT, risk and compliance. And so a lot of my experience is really honestly all through the spectrum when it comes to well-roundedness. Now, I'm not perfect, so I will have maybe some areas I don't know, but that's okay.
Mhm.
Um, when it comes to the first order of business I love to do is making sure that I am meeting with my stakeholders, understanding the type of hire that they're looking for, maybe not exactly looking for the person that was sitting in that chair before, but obviously looking into what can the next person do that the last person didn't do, and kind of gearing that match for that particular situation. I always like to ask about culture as far as how big the team is. I always like to ask the stakeholder in terms of what does growth and opportunity look like, because again, I want to have the potential candidate be excited about what this role is going to be looking like, along with talking about what the company overall gives in terms of what the total rewards package goes, and making sure that I'm answering every single question throughout the entire process during my phone screening and any other questions that they may have. And so I'm very big on stakeholder management. I'm even bigger when it comes to candidate experience. And so being on this side of the aisle when it comes to communication, I think it's so key. And I feel like when we go through through this entire process, we're at the mercy of whoever we're interviewing for. And so being able to really, really communicate with them, making sure that we're answering every single question, going through the process, being there with them, as well as keeping my stakeholders, engaged as well as informed as far as where we are in the process, giving them a roadmap from the beginning, letting them know, hey, this is what week 1 or week 2 is going to look like, and this is where we should be by week 3. And so everyone is in tune, the machine is going. And so making sure that I'm phone screening and I'm looking at resumes every chance I get, applying my AI techniques to the process, because AI is the wave of the future, not abusing AI, but using it together in a partnership. And I think that's super important because, again, we can't lose our critical thinking skills. And so once we get there, once we get to the process of the interview, making sure that we have an unbiased panel, making sure that they understand the rules of engagement when it comes to selecting a particular candidate. I think that's super important. Cannot let just one person bulldoze the entire process, as I like to call it. Um, and also making sure that the decision that was made has been and is the final one. Everyone is comfortable with it. Teaming up with compensation, talking about what that salary would look like, and as well as then making that offer. And the part of the offer that I love to do is kind of spinning it in a way that I get the feedback from them before I get the offer. I always ask them, how did you feel about the entire process? Give me some feedback. And once I get them talking and they start telling me it was great, thank you so much for all the information you've provided me. So getting that feedback from them and then providing them the fact that I'm giving them an offer provides an even bigger hallelujah at the end of the day for them. And I love that because I'm changing people's lives. So recruiters have an amazing capability to be able to change people's lives. Maybe not like paramedics or things like that, but it's a process that I hold near and dear, and that entire process from beginning to end is super important to me, even to the point of onboarding. So even though I push off or hand off to our HR people in terms of the onboarding process, I'd like to know what's going on, whether they've completed the process, whether there's a drug screening process, have they cleared, background processing, has that cleared, and again communicating with them and saying, hey, look, thumbs up, we're good, your start date is such date, and being able to kind of see them through the entire process. And so again, stakeholder management is super important to me because I love that my hiring managers trust in me and they begin to look at me as that subject matter expert, because again, as recruiters, this is the space we're in and this is the space that we should be commanding. And also being a partner with them, not necessarily one is bigger than the other, but I'm a partner in this process. I'm here to find you someone that is going to do more than probably what the person was doing before you, or someone that can actually do the job, wholeheartedly without any issues. And so I've hired from the lowest level, from executive assistants to admins to customer service agents, and I've hired all the way up to directors. And so a lot of my roles when it comes to the higher end, obviously we're talking about Boolean searches, we're talking about using LinkedIn Recruiter, we're talking about using past requisitions where there was a silver medalist candidate, and going back and saying, hey, a position opened up. Are you still interested in working for such and such company? A lot of people don't realize that when you get a callback like that, it's like, oh my God, like I missed out the first time, I can get them again. And 9 out of 10 times they're going to say yes. And so I love to do that. The referral process, if there is one with White & Case, if there is one, that's another avenue that I definitely love to use as well. The referral program, I think, is probably one of the most successful because, again, word of mouth is what gets people going. And it's a huge, ongoing process when it comes to hiring at that higher level, because now you're looking for that particular skill set. It's not just transferable skills, but more or less, are you a subject matter expert in whatever it is that I'm trying to hire you for? And asking those critical questions and looking and finding out what their motivation is, and really going through their resume and combing through it and having them explain what happened here and what happened there, and please give me descriptions of exactly what you did. So those are all super important components for me. And it's something that I've learned throughout my what I'd like to call my medium history and when it comes to recruiting. And I have a huge HR background as well. And so I understand both sides. And it's one of the best parts as far as my journey and my career as being a recruiter.
That was amazing, Chris. Typically during the introduction, or afterwards, I should say, I asked you a few questions, but I think you got it all down packed. So I appreciate all of that. You mentioned the full cycle recruitment, the type of roles that you have sourced for, the candidate engagement, right? From the beginning all the way down to the end, passing over the onboarding to the HR team. But even your approach with it, the talent nonetheless, and then the systems that you've used. You named a few, right? Being LinkedIn, Recruiter. I may have missed the additional ones, but if you don't mind, can you repeat the systems that you've used, like the ATS system you've used?
ATS, I've had Avature experience. That's what McKinsey used to use. And then I also had SAP, which is SuccessFactors for TICO. I do have limited experience with Workday. I know that's most likely the industry standard. I'm a very quick learner. And when it comes to searches, doing Boolean searches, again, the LinkedIn Recruiter, using even Glassdoor to a degree, because I love kind of engaging that particular side. Indeed, there's a number of different areas where we can, gather and source. And so LinkedIn Recruiter, and even my own personal circle, I have plenty of professionals in my own personal circle, putting my own social media up as a platform to be like, hey, my company is hiring. Do you know anybody? And that has worked out amazingly.
Incredible. And thank you for kind of reiterating the systems you've worked with and other sources as well. Chris,
Yes.
My last question for you is, how soon were you looking to start a new position?
As soon as possible, honestly. I would love to, with White & Case, if given the right opportunity, be here, be present, be that boots to the ground for you, and hiring as many people as possible. I'm beyond super motivated, if in case I haven't expressed it enough. So I'm just looking for the right opportunity, and White & Case, really honestly, and it really looks like a great place to work. I've done some background research on the company. As you can imagine, this is what we do in this day and age. We go to Glassdoor and we look for the negatives and the positives. Well, I'm more of a positive person, so I look for all the positives. And there's been nothing but great things that have been said. And not that I ignore the negatives, but we leave that to the side. And so everyone has a different experience. Everyone has a different path. And so I would hope and pray that, White & Case sees this and they look at me and they would love to have me a part of their team.
Well, that's amazing, Chris. And again, I thank you for kind of wrapping up the interview with that and giving me your insight on, your experience when seeking and even searching into White and Case and doing your own investigation. So that's always appreciated when you know off the bat what you're going into. So thank you for doing your own investigation on White and Case. So Chris, again, I just want to thank you for all of the details you were able to provide me as far as your professional experience. I want to ask you to stay online with me really quickly while I wrap up this interview. But
Yes,
again, I appreciate the time that we spent together.
absolutely.